This is a leadership legacy story of Weakley County with Mr. Junior Moore. The video is taking place at his house in Dresden, Tennessee, and by Jason Briggins. Now, Mr. Moore, first of all, I want to tell you thank you for your time in doing this. And we'll ask you a few questions about business, community, some personal things. We'll start with business. How would you describe what is your philosophy on business?
My philosophy on business is always think in a business-like manner and have an understanding of the values and always be friendly and helpful with others.
Very good. What in your career, how would you describe your business career?
I worked for Weakley County Municipal Electric System for 44 years. Each day I got up looking forward to going to work. And I think that's an important thing. If you don't enjoy going to work, you need to be looking for another job. And during that period of time, I was promoted 5 times from being a dispatcher at night until the last 10 years superintendent of the system.
That was a great career then, obviously. I can relate to the dispatching days.
Yeah, you can, can't you?
Actually, you hired me to be a dispatcher.
I did.
Describe some changes that you've seen in the company, in Weakley County Electric over the years.
I started working as a dispatcher, working nights, on the midnight shift, holidays, and on weekends. And also during that period of time, I worked some in the office. Worked on payroll. That's where I started in the office, working on payroll in my spare time when I wasn't working in dispatching. And I saw the company grow from what they called an A-frame truck and 6 men to go out and set a pole. And all the men that could would ride in the cab, and the rest of them had to ride on the back of that truck. And it went from there to a truck and a 3-man crew. And the improvement was the hydraulic equipment that they got on those newer trucks, and they'd set those poles for the men. And that made a big difference in
right. What have you seen or experienced over your professional life that had an impact on your business?
In 1960, we bought the franchise of South Fulton, Tennessee. They had lost their franchise, which was served by Kentucky Utility. And the Kentucky Utilities rates were so high that they did not renew their franchise with them, and we purchased the franchise in South Fulton. We picked up about 1,000 customers, and at that time, I was working in Greenfield as a dispatcher, as a cashier, and they moved me back to Martin because we needed someone to go to South Fulton and talk to those people and explain to them what Weakley County Electric was doing and the kind of service they could expect from us. And during the next probably 2 years, I knocked on every door in South Fulton and sat down and talked to those people and told them what to expect of WCMES.
That's interesting right there, because that doesn't happen today, does it?
No.
That kind of service.
Yeah, also, from the time I went to work with the electric company, we grew from approximately 10,000 customers until when I left, retired, we had over 20,000.
Wow. Wow. Have you got any funny stories about business?
Well, I guess the funny story that I have that I've always remembered was that one year we went to American Public Power Association's annual meeting in Seattle. And on our way home from that meeting, we had a layover in Chicago and had to change planes. And when we got to Chicago, they announced pretty soon after we arrived that Air Force One was coming into Chicago, and all other flights would be canceled temporarily until everything was settled with Air Force One, and then we would get our plane out of there. So, and of course, when you come into an airport, you usually come in on one end of the terminal, and then you go out on the other, probably a half a mile away, you know. And I had several people with me, and I had this one lady that was an older person, and she didn't walk too fast. In fact, she was a little bit slow, and we were about to miss our plane, about to miss our flight. So we were going along, and I was trying to help her just a little bit, get along, and I had her piece of luggage, and we passed by this bathroom door, and there was a wheelchair sitting by that bathroom door. I grabbed that wheelchair and I said, "Sit down in this wheelchair and we'll go." And she sat in that wheelchair and we ran through that airport, and we made our flight. But when we got down to where we was going to get on our plane to come on into Nashville, some of our other people said, "Where'd you get the wheelchair?" And I said, "I got it in front of a bathroom door where wasn't anybody sitting in it, so I got it."
Oh man, that's pretty good. Poor guy that was in the bathroom, I guess.
To work a wheelchair.
What influenced your success as a business leader?
Is that number 6?
Yes, sir.
With the help of 60 plus employees, and I mean excellent employees, and I work real close with those people, and which helped us make our company a success. I give those employees lots of credit for the company's success. And I enjoyed working with all the crews, and I worked with 4-H Club. In fact, there was a period of a few years there that we set aside the month of February, and we met every 4-H Club in Weakley County that month. And we had a program for them. Most of the time it had to do with electricity. And I've been on the board. I was on the board of West Tennessee Industrial Association, and I worked at the Chamber of Commerce. In fact, I've been on the board of the Chamber of Commerce for the last 27 years.
That's wonderful, wonderful. As far as in the community, obviously you just mentioned some of the things you're doing as a community leader out there with some of the boards that you're involved in and so forth. But what one event happened in the past that caused our community to be as successful as it is, would you think?
When W.F. Hall came to Dresden, I don't remember what year that was. W.F. Hall is a printing company who printed books. They came to Dresden and brought 1,000 employees. And about that same time, Kelwood came to Weakley County with 2 plants, one in Greenfield and one in Dresden. And both those plants together worked about 1,000 employees too. Well, it was about this time that there was no work for our women in Weakley County. And those 2 plants had jobs available for the women. And a lot of our women went to work in those plants, which brought extra income for that family. And it was noticeable at that time that they started improving their homes. Some started building new homes. And that was the biggest impact, I think, that our county needed.
That's wonderful, interesting right there. On a personal note, do you remember an event that happened in your youth that had a major impact on your life?
When we got electricity in the rural area of Weakley County, that allowed those people, of course, to have lights. First of all, did anybody have any electric lights? They used the kerosene, and then they, started. They would get maybe laundry equipment, or first of all, probably cooking equipment in those homes, and that required electrician to come, and that was another job for electrician to come and wire that house for those appliances and electric lights. And I think that made a bigger impact than anything that ever happened in this county.
Well, that's good. Mr. Moore, do you have any other words of wisdom that you would want to pass along or add to the end of your legacy story, I guess you say? That's kind of all the questions I've got for you, but if there's any other words of advice that you would want to state, why, throw it out there.
Well, our county works together pretty good throughout the county to improve our ways of living, and but I think we need to work closer together and to make this a better place to live.
Okay. Thank you very much.